It is Kirsten Liebelt. How are you doing? It is so good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday. How are you doing? So, every day, Monday through Friday, we are here at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We've been doing this for a year and a half. And unless I'm traveling or it's a holiday. So, I was gone for a few days. That's why I'm giggling because I was like, unless I'm traveling and I was gone. However, we do this because we can talk about insulin resistance and turn it back around. So you may not know who I am, and that is perfection because, there are 8 billion people on the planet. So, but my name is Kirsten Liebelt, and I basically started to turn back around my own insulin resistance starting in my upper 40s. Now, the reason why that is a big deal is because I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes at 22. So I waited for freaking ever before I did anything about my insulin resistance. Okay. My dad died then. In the meantime, in the middle, my cat is bugging me. You're going to have to go away, honey. My dad died when I was 30 years old. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cheryl, good morning. I appreciate you so much. So I'm 30 years old. So I'm 22, gestational diabetic. Then 25-ish, I have another baby and I'm hypoglycemic. So bam, bam, like blood sugar issues. I turned 30. My dad is gone. Type 2 diabetes. He's 63, like super young. And I then go on to do nothing. Like I'm just not even going to pay attention. I'm just going to live my life. Do. I raise my kids, everything white. I do a lot of stuff from scratch, but not paying any attention. Get into my 40s and my weight is just instead of my weight going like this up, my weight starts to go like this up. And by the time I'm in my mid 40s, my mom is like, Kirsten, like seriously, are you even remotely paying attention to your sugars? Like, hello, anybody home? Your dad died, type 2 diabetes. And to be really honest, I had absolutely no intention of changing out my foods. I had no intention of doing anything about the way that I was living because I feel like maybe there was a part of me that was on default of, listen, it's genetic anyway, right? Which is a lie. But, predispositions, blah, 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 whatever. And so I just kind of didn't really take my own personal responsibility and accountability to task. And so therefore, I really didn't do anything. But what I did do was I decided that I was going to start supplementing because that was the easiest way out. It was my path of least resistance. And then I traded out my food. So if you follow any of my content, you'll get all of these little bits and pieces and stuff and things and whatever. You'll get all of this. So just, hang out, hang around. I'll be back here again tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Good morning, Patty, sweet lady. Magda, good morning. You're on live today. It's good to see you. My friends from all over the country, my friends that I've never met yet. Yet is the key word. Okay, so today what I wanted to do, I'm doing a topic that I just don't know that I've ever done a live on completely. And so this is the title of it, How Your Thoughts Are Spiking Your Blood Sugar, Even on a Perfect Diet. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, this is the deal though. Perfect diet, what does that mean, right? So if you follow me, and if you go to the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, we will do another challenge starting on Monday, this coming Monday, the 18th of August. And it'll go for 5 days, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time every day. I will go live and I will talk to you about ingredient trade outs and bring you into my pantry and my refrigerator, targeted supplementation, like where did I start? How did I do it all? Blah, blah, blah. Because I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. Because I supported my inside structures. Any hoodle. And then we'll do a recipe. So next week is the week. When it comes to food, the perfect diet, in my opinion, for somebody who is insulin resistant, is really teaching them how to be grain, sugar, and legume free. That's a good start because then you're not going to spike your sugars and call on insulin. But let's talk about how your thoughts can raise your blood sugar. Okay. I know, a little cuckoo bananas, but track with me. Tell me if any of these resonate with you because I'm telling you, this is like for real. Thoughts are things, and what you think about, you bring about. And what you think about, you create emotion towards, or it creates emotion in you. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So if you've cleaned up your diet and you've cut your sugar and you're even saying no to dessert, like we should, all be figuring out our own dessert, right? I always just keep something at home. So I don't care if I'm at a restaurant or at somebody's house. I just know what I've got in my own life. And that makes me happy. But the scale is acting like you are still eating cake. If you say it like my big fat Greek wedding, which really was a lot like my family. I'm just saying. What if the real culprit isn't in your kitchen, but what if it is in your head? Has anybody thought that way before? Have you had that connection? Maybe you've been told about it. Maybe you've wondered about it. I'd love to know. Put it in the comments. If this has been something that you have kind of gone, I need to probably change the way that I'm thinking about this whole journey. You may not have. All right. So stress and certain emotions, fear. Track with me. If you're going to scroll, just wait till I give you the list, okay? Fear, resentment, frustration, rumination, like you're just ruminating on something, you play it over and over again in your mind. Trigger, cortisol, and adrenaline. So I'm going down a different path today, okay? I'll take you to a path of supplementation that I started in my 40s, specifically using different thought process for supplements instead of what I normally talk about, which is the total body reset that we do all the time. Had to do that just so I could drop one for you. You're welcome. Okay, so these hormones tell your liver to release glucose into your bloodstream. So I'm of the belief that if I can get you to understand why things are happening, you will then go, oh, you'll have your aha moment. Oh, well, that's why I need to do blah, blah, blah. Okay. So your liver is releasing glucose into your bloodstream, and those hormones like cortisol, they're telling your liver to do it. It's like, do it, even if you haven't eaten. So here you are, you're intermittent fasting. So this is going to address anybody who's intermittent fasting, or in general, you're like, golly, jeepers, I only eat one meal a day, or I don't eat until 2, or whatever, I'm barely eating. Okay. Number one, that's not necessarily a good strategy or a plan. A better plan, in my opinion, is to make sure that you're getting enough protein to spike your blood sugars on a daily basis so that you can stabilize your blood sugars. But okay, I talk about that all the time with the free protein blueprint. But if you're constantly triggering cortisol, even if you're waiting till 2 to eat, even if you are doing 1 meal a day, you're doing OMAD, even if you're just a really good, you like the concept of intermittent fasting, and so you're doing that regularly. But if you are living with a lot of fear, resentment, frustration, you're ruminating on all of these thoughts. I have a cat here, so I apologize. It's tickling my nose. You're ruminating on things that are negative. You're raising your cortisol, and you might just really be sabotaging yourself. Okay. So the result is that your insulin goes up. Remember, we're talking about 2 different things. Glucose in the blood. Okay. Right over here, right here, glucose in your blood, but over here, hormone insulin being released by your pancreas. Glucose in your blood. This is what your doctor talks to you about. A1C over here. Insulin, which is a hormone, and it's a fat storing hormone being released by your pancreas. Okay. This is what they don't talk to you about. And this is what is, it's being a fat storing hormone. And this is what they could have told you about 10 or 20 years ago. And they didn't do a fasting insulin test. Are you tracking? If you have labs that have a fasting insulin on them, that's a really good thing to know about, because your blood sugars can be stable. Let's bring them down. Blood sugars are down here. And your doctor says, you're doing good. Your labs look great, but your insulin is going up, your hormone insulin. And after a while, it just cannot compensate for the amount of sugar you're spiking it, and it's coming down, and it's coming down, and it's grabbing it and bringing it into your cell. But after a while, your cell closes the door. And now all that spiking of sugar, it you can't produce enough insulin because it's trying to get it in the cell, but the door is closed. So now it's just storing fat because it's a fat storing hormone. And now what's happening is your sugars stay up. That's usually when your doctors talk to you. This is when they talk to you. Oh, look at there. It's been 15 to 20 years. Thank you so much, Just Me. I appreciate you so much. Oh, look at there. You're pre-diabetic. OMG. We're going to talk to you about MET. We're going to talk to you about scripts. Oh, how did that happen? We don't know. I'm so sarcastic, but it's so dumb. It is so dumb. Okay, let's move on. So what happens then is if you are like frustrated, you are stressed, you have resentment, you have unforgiveness towards somebody, you are raising your cortisol, you are raising your insulin, even though you never ate food to bring up your sugar for fuel, for your pancreas to release insulin to go get it and bring it into your cell. Okay, is anybody tracking with this? Because I'm going to go through some scenarios now. This is what it might look like in your head. Anybody tracking? Are we doing okay? Let's make sure we're doing okay. All right, here we go. So maybe you have the nighttime replay. Anybody? Anybody? You're lying in bed. You're going over every word of that conversation that upset you earlier. Okay. Why did they say that? Should I have answered differently? What if they think less of me now? Your body thinks you're in danger. It spikes cortisol. Your liver dumps sugar into your bloodstream. Boom. Okay. That's scenario number one. Anybody? Does that kind of replay in your head? I'd love to know. Listen, this is all of us. We have to learn in our worlds how to take control of this thought life that we have because it's creating results in our body that we don't want. Number two, how about then you get up in the morning, you wake up and instantly you're thinking of your to-do list. Bam, 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 bam. This may or may not be me. This may or may not be me. The bills are due, that appointment you're dreading, whatever. For me, it's just my to-do list is long. I have things that I need to accomplish every day, right? And that I get to accomplish. And so anyway, I'll tell you what I do here in just a second. So before you've had your coffee, your stress hormones, man, they are up there and you're already telling your body to hoard energy in the form of fat. Just telling you. So now what I do is I get up and I push myself out the door to go for a walk. I go for a walk. This is how I fix my life. I go for a walk. I put on my hokas, put on my tannies. I put on my my earmuffs, my whatever. You know what I mean? My whatever. Can't think of the word. What is wrong with me? You know what I mean, though. I'm listening to like YouTube. I'm listening to, I've got things that I listen to. I like going through this. You might think I'm weird. That's okay. I'll just tell you anyway. There's a book called The Greatest Salesman. It doesn't have anything to do with sales. It has to do with how you view your life. And I'll go through the scrolls. Each scroll, there's like 10 scrolls or 12 scrolls. I don't remember. And whatever. It's Og Mandino. It's a very old book. He's really amazing. And, like you will greet this day with love in your heart. That's one of the scrolls that I'm kind of going through right now. Whatever. Sometimes I'll listen to scripture. I did that this morning. Sometimes I'll listen to worship music, whatever. But I'm starting my day with getting my thoughts in a different place instead of my to-do list. Because my to-do list is still going to be there when I'm done walking. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you too much. Okay. More than you want to know is really what I feel. I don't feel like I'm telling you too much. I feel like just get on with it, Kirsten. Just hush now. Okay. So that's your morning panic. Okay. How about the drive time spiral? You love your hokas? Me too, Joanne. I love my hokas. I actually put them on my Amazon fave list. So if anybody ever goes to my site, which is my first last name, kirstenliebelt.com, you'll see my Amazon faves list. And I put them on there because I had no idea that they existed until the beginning of the summer. And I went out to a shoe place here in the Twin Cities. I'm in Minnesota. And I went out there and they taught me about hokas. And I'm like, I love these shoes. And they are like right now, I just got back from Colorado. I'm going to show you my shoe. I just got back from Colorado and I don't know if you can tell how dirty they are. They're super dirty. They're really, really dirty right now. But I will spray these with I have a special pre-wash from my company. So I'll spray them and then they'll come out brand new white again. But because I walked and walked and walked and walked in these dang hokas. Anyway, and you can wash them in the washer. Okay, moving on. So drive time spiral. You're stuck in traffic. The steering wheel mutter, you're gripping the steering wheel, you're like mad, you're angry, you're frustrated, and you're muttering at the car that you just cut off, or they just cut you off, or whatever, and you're just like all the time. This is the drive time issue, right? Being in traffic. Your muscles never get used to the glucose your liver just dumped. Are you tracking? So it gets stored. Your muscles never get to use, that's what I meant to say. They never get to use the sugar, the glucose that your liver dumped, and it gets stored as fat. So there's this cycle that happens. It's very frustrating, right? Or the last one that I wanted to bring up is the what if loop. I feel like this is probably the most common. Tell me if I'm wrong. The most common. Replaying worst case scenarios in your head. What if this doesn't work for me? True Lisa says that's an awesome book. It is an awesome book. Oh my gosh, it is so good. I've done this before where I've gone through the scrolls. I did it in like for 12 weeks, because I think there's 12. For 12 weeks, we did one scroll a week. This year, I'm doing one scroll a month. And I'm just listening to it frequently and whatever. It just changes your perspective. So I'm on a year-long journey. Come on with me. I'm only on scroll 2. You can join me. Anyway, what if this doesn't work for me? What if I'm stuck like this forever? What if my health keeps getting worse? I mean, I think we're all guilty of this. Because we think that our past results identify our current status of what's going to happen. We think that our past results are going to be what happens now this time, okay? So what if this doesn't work for me? What if I'm just stuck like this forever? That was the thought that I had at 37 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. I've talked to you about that before. I remember the clothing that I was wearing. I know the outfit that I was wearing. I know where I was standing in my yard. I'm 60 now, just to give you reference. So 23 years ago. I remember what the sky looked like. I know that sounds weird, but we all have these moments that kind of get imprinted. And I asked myself the question, it came to me, and it was kind of like, what if I'm supposed to just embrace this life of obesity? There's so much obesity in my Italian family. Maybe you just be the obese Italian wife, grandma to be. And that was a thought that was in my head. So what if this doesn't work for me? What if I'm just stuck like this forever? That was me. What if my health keeps getting worse? Thinking about that, like from my dad. What if keeps your stress response stuck in on mode? There's like this energy that's to it, like la 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 la, like there's a frequency. It's on. Cortisol is up. Stress is up. But why this matters for people who are insulin resistant, let's bring it all back around to, if you're on my content, you're insulin resistant, you know you are, you suspect you are, whatever. And you're like, I know that I need to do something different, but I don't understand why what used to work for me doesn't work for me anymore. That's where I come in. I help women over 40 get unstuck through the lens of insulin resistance. Okay. This is what we do here in this little room. Like, join me in my little room, right? So every time this happens, any one of those scenarios, I'll repeat them quickly for you just so that you have them. But every time this happens, insulin has to come in and clean up the glucose. Insulin has to come in. It's being released by your pancreas, and it has to clean up the glucose. If it's happening all day, even with clean eating, your insulin stays high. And this is what you want to hear before you scroll away, if you're going to, which, don't. but if you were going to, this is what you wanted to hear right here. If your insulin stays high, your fat burning ability stays on lockdown. No fat burning for you. Boom. Switch off. That is one of the two boxes that women don't even know how to check. You don't even know how to check these two boxes. The first box is if your insulin is high, you're not going to burn fat. And the second box is if your liver is sluggish, you will not burn fat. Period. The end. You have to work on your inside systems in order to shift the way that your body is handing you results. You have to shift from the inside out. Okay. And for your friend down the street that is not insulin resistant, for your, for somebody who's in their 30s and they're not dealing with the results of that yet, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I mean, I kind of was in my early 20s, but it doesn't matter. My point being that this is about you and where you are as you assess your own body. This isn't about other people who are metabolically stable. If you have metabolic dysfunction, you're insulin resistant, you have to treat your body differently so that you can get it to actually respond. You're like, come on, let's go. This is what we're doing, right? So the quick wins that you can do to lower your emotional glycemic load. Let me give you just a couple of quick things that you could do before I explain anything that I did for my own stress responses. Interrupt the loop. Number one, stand up, walk, breathe in and out, just start breathing. If you're at work, you can get up and go to the bathroom. You get up, you walk, you do some deep breaths. You can interrupt the loop just like that. Doesn't take much. Number two, a daily mental reset. So 5 minutes of journaling to get thoughts out of your head. Super, super beneficial. You can either journal to get the thoughts out of your head, or you can couple that with writing down gratitude. Write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And it can be as simple as the air that you're breathing is clean. Or it can be something you're grateful for somebody in your life or something they did. It can be something big. It can be small. And the next day that you sit down and write those gratitudes, write down 10 different ones. Don't repeat. That keeps you in a thought process of truly mining for things that you are grateful for on a regular basis. And it changes the way that you're feeling inside. Oh, that's right. I'm so thankful for that too. Oh, that's right. I'm grateful for that as well. Okay. Does that make sense? So that's number two, a daily mental reset. I feel like that's a part of what I'm doing in the mornings when I walk and I have my headphones on. That was the word. Shouldn't have been hard, but that's okay. Have my headphones on and I'm listening to worship music or a scroll number 2 right now in the month of August, or, scriptures or whatever. And I can just I'm resetting my mind. I'm resetting my mental capacity. And then the last one is supplement support. Y'all don't even know maybe how much you can change your body from the inside out so that you can get results. Here you are, you're kicking yourself. You're like, why does this have to be so hard? Why can't I get my body to respond? Blah, 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 blah. And you just don't realize that very much like your vehicle, you need a tune-up. Very much like your vehicle, you have to change the filter. Very much like your vehicle, you have to support the systems that have become bogged down, and now you have to get that engine revved back up again. But I'm telling you, it can happen. Now, that's an acceleration point. That's for people who want to accelerate what they're doing. And that's where the fun testimonies come from. Whatever, you're 74 years old and in 5 months you lose 45 pounds because you supported your systems and you feel amazing. She's such a good testimony. I have so many. I always pick the same ones. I don't know why. I need to go back and get them. I try to stay on top of the testimonies and I log them. Doesn't matter. I do all sorts of things. And because I want you to hear from other people who have got their system up and running, right? And that's so helpful for people to feel like they finally hacked their own body and you can accelerate those results. But if you will just take the time, if you're not there yet, that's okay. Take the time to do what you can with your mental state, just like we were talking about. So supplement support, I'm going to share those with you, exactly what I did when I was in my 40s, and then we'll wrap up for today. But the scenarios in your head that we just talked about were, number one, the nighttime replay, where you're lying in bed and you're going over every conversation. Why did they say that? I should have answered differently. Your body thinks you're in danger and it's spiking your cortisol. Number two, you wake up and your to-do list is right there. You're just like, you wake up and you think about anything that stresses you, or you wake up and you think about that to-do list and you're spiking your cortisol. Number three, you're in like traffic all the time. Maybe you're somebody who is just driving a lot and you are in constant you're frustrated. You're frustrated at who cut you off, or you cut them off, or whatever it is. It's just you're tight. And what happens then is that your muscles never get to use the glucose that your liver dumped into your system. And then the what if loop. What if this doesn't work for me? What if I'm just like stuck for this forever? What if my health keeps getting worse? And that keeps your response stuck in the on mode of high cortisol, et cetera. And you just have to shift a few things. But when you become the assessor of your body, when you become the assessor of what's going on in your life, it is the greatest gift that you give yourself. I'm convinced it is the greatest gift, because nobody else is ever, 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 ever going to say to you, I think that we need to get you assessed and I'm going to help you pay attention to you. Nobody's going to do that. You have to do it for yourself. That's why I want to empower you to become your own advocate. So that, having said all of that, what I ended up doing, Patty says nighttime replay, headphones. Thanks, Patty. I should have looked. I should have known you knew the answer to that one. Anyway, when I was in my upper 40s and I started to do any supplementation, I always talk about the total body reset. That's kind of its own thing for, helping you with your insulin resistance. Okay. We can talk about that. I talk about that every day. But today what I wanted to do was I wanted to chat with you for just a second about adaptogenic herbs. Now, I don't know if you've ever used adaptogenic herbs before, but they are God's gift to helping us with things like cortisol, stress, brain fog, mental kind of like mental health, whatever. And they come in and they help your body adapt to stress. I didn't know any of this, but I worked with a naturopath a long time ago, and she taught me things. She was just amazing. She was so helpful in getting me to understand how you can take what God gave us in herbs and you can support your body. So I still use the exact same adaptogenic herb that I started with. That must have been 14 years ago. And I did it because I had such brain fog and I couldn't multitask. So I still have that one. And then since then they've launched ashwagandha. So the first one is rhodiola, then ashwagandha, and then I do a magnesium. And all three of those in any given day, that to me would be like a trifecta of helping somebody move from I'm always stressed, I'm always I always feel like I'm kind of mentally going through mud, and like I can't quite seem to get on top of the stress that I'm feeling. And those three together would be amazing for anybody who wanted to do that. So if that is something that you need, where you want me to share with you this, I'm still taking the same one, the same rhodiola that I've been taking all these years because it's off of an organic farm, and I will not do herbs that are not organic. I won't do that, because then I'm tripping up my liver even worse, and I'm trying to do the opposite with what I'm taking. So I don't want to slow down my liver more and ruin my weight loss, fat loss even more. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I have rhodiola, ashwagandha, magnesium, those three. I'd be more than happy to put those in a cart for you and help you with that part of your journey. That's where I started, was with adaptogenic herbs. I didn't know any of this. I was just trying to figure out how to be able to multitask at my job. And I was trying to figure out how to get rid of my brain fog. I didn't know my brain fog was for my insulin resistance. I had no idea. I didn't know. But what happened was my adaptogenic herb routine helped me to support my adrenals, regulate my hormones, and changed completely the way that I went through menopause. And I had no idea that that was going to happen. It's just, I became my own guinea pig, and then I tell you all about it. So if you feel like you're dealing with stress, you can always just drop into my inbox, whether it's Messenger, Instagram, text me, whatever. Just drop the word stress, and I'll send you those 3 in a cart so that you can just look at them. That and Greek salad. You're funny, Julie. Going to Greece. Yes. Everybody needs to go to Greece. That's where Julie just came back from. Everybody needs to go to Greece. I haven't been there yet, but I've been to Italy. So I got close. Next time. But my friends went to Greece and they really, wow. They said it was amazing. Amazing. Okay. So I'm going to just show you. Let's see. Do I even have? That's not what I want to do. I'm going to show you how you can text me, because some people don't know how to find that information. So my site is my first last name, KirstenLiebelt.com. And it looks like this when you pull it up. It's on my profiles. It's everywhere, like everywhere. It's on IG, it's on FB, it's on TT, it's everywhere. Okay. And this is what it will look like. And you can find, like a free protein blueprint. You can find all sorts of stuff. But at the very bottom, there's, right, you can't even probably see it. Right there, it'll tell you where you can text me, and you can tell me that you want to see like the rhodiola, the ashwagandha, and the magnesium all in one spot. And I will say that if you haven't heard me talk about it for a while, because I've been gone, just to let you know, there's a customer campaign that is ongoing. They just launched it in March. It's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. And when you purchase $150 or more for 3 months in a row, on your 3rd month, you get $75 off. And for me, that just says you're going to get paid for your wellness journey. You're actually going to get rewarded for taking care of yourself. And I already know that people are, you probably have a supplement cupboard, like your makeup drawer. You've got many different things. You don't even know why you're taking them. Maybe you do, but if you begin to combine and put under one umbrella some of the different things that you've been doing, and because maybe you're getting it over here at Costco, and then you're going over here to a Mart, and then you're going over here to a store or an Amazon find, or you've got many different places that you've got things that you're getting from. If you bring them under one umbrella, you can cash in by doing that. Bring everything into one spot, 150, 150, 150, cha-ching, and then you can do it again. 150, 150, 150, cha-ching. So for everybody who's you're on a supplement routine, maybe you already know what it can cost you to go to a naturopath, or to pay cash out of pocket, to go to different places and get things. This is a more affordable way to do a wellness journey in general. People ask me kind of a lot if I still do one-on-one coaching, and I haven't been. And so just having the path where we come together at 11 a.m. Central every Monday through Friday, and having the challenge inside of the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, and having an ability to get paid back for your wellness journey when it comes to your actual supplementation that you wanted to do anyway, this is a really good formula. And, I'll never say never about, doing coaching again like that. But Sally, I see that. I'll get that for you. I'll never say never, because I never know what God wants, me to step into, etc. But I will support you on your journey and walk this wellness with you. And I feel like it has been working so well for so many of you, because then you just have access to be able to ask me questions, and I will help you navigate. So tomorrow we'll be back at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And on Monday, we're going to start the challenge. So we'll do the 11 a.m. just like this, but then at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time in the group, no sign up required. Just get into the group, turn on your notifications, put something on your phone reminding you, because, the notifications are kind of hit and miss. And at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will go live in the group, and I'll do that Monday through Friday next week. It's our August challenge. Don't miss out because it can reposition you right before you hit September, right before you hit the fall. And you can go September, October, and hit November in a different state of mind and in a different pantry thought process. And maybe you'll just do the holidays different and better. What would that feel like? So, all right. If you have questions from today, reach out. Don't hesitate. I will help you and have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Thursday. See you later, you guys.